What is subject-verb agreement? Subject-verb agreement refers to the relationship between the subject and predicate of the sentence. Subjects and verbs must always agree in two ways: tense and number. A simple subject-verb agreement definition implies that a verb always agrees with its subject in number and person. Let's take an example to understand this concept. First example, the boy is playing with his ball. In this case, the subject of the sentence is boy and the verb used is singular in nature, is playing. Second example, the boys are playing with their ball. In this case, the subject of the sentence is boys and the verb used is plural in nature, are playing. Subject-verb agreement rules. We follow certain rules for subject-verb agreement. Let's explore and revise subject-verb agreement rules that help us determine if the subject is singular or plural. If two or more singular nouns or pronouns are joined by the conjunction and, we use a plural verb. For example, Seema and Reeti are students of this school. Second example, the teacher and the student were present. Second rule, when two nouns suggest the same idea or refer to the same person or thing, we use a singular verb. For example, the captain and coach of the team has been sacked. Second example, slow and steady wins the race. Let's see the next rule. If two subjects together express one idea, the verb may be in the singular. For example, the long and short of the matter is that he has decided to return to Delhi. If the singular subject are preceded by each or every, the verb is usually singular. For example, every man, woman and child was present at the gathering. Just see the next rule. A collective noun takes a singular verb when the group is considered as a unit. For example, the team has played the match. Second example, the committee has accepted your resignation. Some nouns are plural in form but singular in meaning. Such nouns take a singular verb. For example, physics is my favorite subject. The news was scary. Some nouns are singular in form but plural in meaning and thus take a plural verb. For example, the police have nabbed the culprit. The words each, everyone, neither, nor, either, or take a singular verb. For example, everyone was welcome. Second example, neither he nor I was prepared. Let us see the next rule. When two subjects joined by either or and neither nor take different persons, the verb agrees in person with the one nearest to it. For example, either you or she is telling the truth. Here, verb in this particular sentence, the verb is used according to the nearest word. She, that is she. If the subjects joined by either or and neither nor are of different numbers, the verb agrees in number with the subject that is closest to it. For example, the boy or his brothers have made the mistake. Neither the team members nor the captain has reached the station. Next rule. When two subjects are joined by as well as, with, along with, etc., the verb agrees with the first subject, noun. That is, if the first noun is in the singular, the verb must be singular, even if the second noun is plural. For example, Shreya, along with her friends, has won the prize. Next rule. A relative pronoun always agrees in number and person with its antecedent. For example, he is one of those men who know a lot about this matter. Next rule, many refers to number and is plural. Much refers to amount and is singular. For example, many of the guavas were ripe. Next example, much of the oil was wasted. Just see how the verbs have been used in these particular sentences. When a plural number applies to distances, weights, etc., it is taken as a whole and therefore treated as singular. For example, 2 kilos of sugar costs 80 rupees. Next example, 200 miles is not a short distance. Uncountable nouns such as clothing, news, stationery, cutlery are treated as singular and therefore take a singular verb. For example, the furniture is expensive. Both always takes a plural verb. For example, both the girls were scolded. When the subject has the phrase one of the followed by a plural noun, the verb is singular. The real subject is one. Let's see the example. One of the boys in the class was praised by the principal. When an of phrase follows a percentage, fraction or an amount, the verb agrees with the noun pronoun closest to it. For example, 1/3 of the population is poor. 1/3 of the villagers have brick houses here. With quantifiers like all, some and few, the verb agrees with the noun or pronoun closest to it. For example, some of the muffins were very hard. Let's see the other example. Some of the banana cake is in the tin. Now, let me give you some tips for understanding subject-verb agreement. Here are some important tips to help you understand subject-verb agreement. Objects and appositives can never be the subject of the sentence. For example, Rahul, one of my next door neighbors, is a doctor. In this sentence, Rahul, not neighbors, is the subject of the sentence because neighbors is part of the appositive phrase. Tip 2. When referring to sums of money or collective nouns acting in unison, a singular verb is used. For example, the herd of bison is grazing in the field. In this sentence, because the bison are acting as a unified group, the verb is singular. Tip number 3. Regardless of where it is in the sentence, the subject always determines whether a verb is singular or plural. For example, her palms sweaty and mind racing, she begins her descent down the mountain. In this sentence, the subject does not appear until the middle of the sentence. Do not get tricked by modifiers like this participial phrase. Now there is an exercise for you all. Tarun's main weakness dash chocolates. Second sentence, Sara Surjewala dash that the only way to save her friends dash to win a dance fight. Third sentence, one of the girls dash punished for the offense. My aunt as well as the members of a family dash settled in Noida. 3/4 of the city dash being destroyed. I and not you dash going to the market. Neither of the boys dash comfortable here. Note: often a verb is made to agree with the noun near it instead of its proper subject. This is incorrect and should be avoided. See the two examples. The behavior of the students were excellent. This is incorrect. The correct sentence would be the behavior of the students was excellent. Second pair of example, see, the cost of all these goods have risen. This is incorrect. The right sentence would be the cost of all these goods has risen.